Hi everybody, it's Slam Tilt, and as you know, if you've been watching my YouTube videos, I do plan on releasing this game, Aliens, on the 26th of April, which is 426, which is just a few days away. So before I release it, I want to make sure that everybody out there knows how to run it properly on their computer. So what I'll do is I'll just run through a kind of beginner's guide to future pinball. Okay, so let's just close that down. So first of all, you are going to need to install BAM on your computer. Now, I recommend going to this website, which is here, and then using this download link here to get Future Pinball and BAM at the same time. Now, when you've got those installed on your computer, you should have something that looks like this. So you'll have a Future Pinball folder. Inside the Future Pinball folder, you'll have all the Future Pinball stuff, and then you'll see a BAM folder, so you click on that. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that whenever you launch Future Pinball, you launch it using this FP loader thing here. Now I have copied that as a shortcut to my desktop. There it is. So I just double click on that. And what that does is it opens up Future Pinball. There's a little splash screen. So it opens up a blank editor like this. And what you want to do then is you want to make sure, first of all, before you do anything else, is go into Preferences, go into Editor Options, make sure that that is unticked. Load image into table editor. Untick that. It's ticked by default. Once you've unticked it, it will stay unticked forever. So untick that, come out of there. That will stop the game loading in all the textures. Now this game has lots of textures for all the playfield stuff, but it also loads in all the LCD animations and movie clips, all that stuff. It just takes forever to load in, so make sure you untick that. Next thing you want to do is to go into video rendering options. Now you can look at this and make sure that yours is pretty much exactly the same as this, so you do a freeze frame of that while you're setting up your Future Pinball. But the main thing is to make sure that the render the game room is unticked. Again, that is ticked by default. Make sure you untick that so that you can see the game room that I've created in the game. So make sure that your setup is like that. Okay, that's good. That's before we even get started. Now you want to load in the table. Now wherever the table is, that's where you want to load it in from. Now I normally have my pinball games on my desktop. So I have a folder on my desktop called Pinball. And then I just load them in from there. So here are all my pinball games. And I've got one folder here called Aliens. And there it is. So there's many versions of this, because this is my design folder. This is where I do all my work, and I've got multiple versions of this, including the Highway Pinball Alien here, which I was planning to release. It says Thiel there because it's got the Thiel music, whereas this one has the original Jerry Goldsmith music. So the most recent one that I've been working on is 1.3, but the release version will be 1.1. So that's my most recent one that I'm working on. So that's what you do. You just open it up. It opens up the table in the editor. Now, what I do is I just take this window here and I just move it to the side like that. And then it allows me to open the script on the left side of the window. Now, this will give you the rules. So if you want to know how the game is played, the rules are all broken down here quite comprehensively, so you know exactly what to do. So everything is covered, and also it gives a list of the credits of everybody involved in making this game, and also some instructions there on what not to do. I have released this game exclusively for my YouTube channel, so I don't want it to appear anywhere else. For now, we'll see how it goes. And then you can come down here and you can start monkeying around with the script if you know what you're doing, but I recommend you don't touch anything from this point downwards. Now, my games are desktop games. I designed them for desktop because that's all I ever do. All I ever do is play games on my desktop. I don't have VR. I don't have a pin cab. So what I've done here is I'll just show you the link to Terry Red's. Terry Red knows everything about Future Pinball, pin cabs, VR. So if you need to know exactly how to set up a pin cab or VR or augmented reality or whatever the hell that is, you can go on his website, and he has tutorials that explain everything you need to know about Future Pinball. So I'm not going to go completely into that kind of depth. So if you get stuck, that's more in depth to what you can do if you need to set it up for a pin cab. Now, once the game is in the editor, and it should look like this, you won't see any textures that have been brought in. You don't want to see anything like that. You just want to see it like this. And then you just press the play table, which is right here, play table. Now, there are some things you can do in the editor. I mean, if you're a big nudger, you can change the warnings before tilt here to a higher number, like 6, 7, 8, whatever. I set it to 4, which is more realistic. If you tilt the table a lot, you'll get caught out with a tilt. If you nudge the table a lot, sorry, you'll get caught out with a tilt. So increase that number if you're a big nudger. You can also change the table slope if you want the ball to move faster. So I have it at 7.5 degrees, but if you want to lower it, the ball will move slower. If you make it higher, the ball will move faster. So that's how I have it. So it's a personal preference. Okay, with everything set up and ready to go, all you have to do is press the play table. So Future Pinball doesn't load very fast, unfortunately. If you play Pinball FX, it's like so fast, but they have a better engine than Future Pinball, so don't worry about that. So here we are, right at the end. Here we go. So when the game first loads, it will do some kind of thing look up on the screen saying stuff is loading, this, that, and the other. Now, you can click the right flipper to allow me to change the camera angle for certain events, or the left flipper to deny. So I always click the right flipper for allow. Now, this is the desktop version of the game. Now, if you press the special 2 key, I think it's the special 2 key, you can change the viewing angle. Now, the viewing angle can be set to various positions, and the last two will remove all the HUD information. So there you go. So the HUD information is removed, and you can actually see the information on the back glass. And again, you know, the HUD information remains off, and you can see all the information on the back glass, if that's how you prefer it. How I always play is scrolling. So I always follow the ball, because that's how I like to play my pinball. I like it. It's much more exciting and much more dynamic for me if I'm following the ball around the table. It just makes pinball for me much more fun that way. Right, so that's what the game will do. I'm not going to go into how the game is played. I'll do that on the video that when I release the actual game, I'll go into some of the rules that you'll need to know before the game starts. But that's the setup. That's really how you get the game set up on your computer. Now, it only works on a PC at the moment. But because there are these devices now, you know, like the Steam Deck, like the Lenovo Pro, which are just basically handheld PCs, there's more ways of playing Future Pinball games than there ever was before. I use a laptop. I don't have one of those handheld PCs. I'm going to get one. And I'm also going to get a MetaQuest 3, so eventually I'll get into Pinball VR. But at the moment, I just use my laptop, because I'm just busy making these things rather than sort of really enjoying them and playing them. So at some point, I'm just going to stop making them, and I'm just going to enjoy playing them like everybody else. Okay, that's the end of this tutorial. In a few days, I will release this game, Aliens Legendary Edition. It will be released on the 26th of April on my YouTube channel, so look out for it there. Okay, thank you for watching, and toodaloo!